Good morning, students. Now today we are going to discuss about the classification of similarities. Just I want to make an appeal to all my viewers and students that you, before the starting of the classification of similarities, you have to go through my playlist 1. That is already I have posted the Lawrence series, the lecture. So first you go through and look in the Lawrence series. There are two parts. One part is regular part, another is the principal part. So you have to understood what is the actual Lawrence series before going to discuss the classification of similarities. So now let us look what is the classification of similarities. A point at which a complex function fz is analytic is called a regular point, or we can say the ordinary point of fz. This is already there. At a point z is equal to a is a singular point of fz if fz is not analytic. So you have to remember these are the two definitions. But is analytic at some point in every deleted neighborhood of a. Once again I am repeating, a point z is equal to a is a singular point of fz if fz is not analytic, but is analytic. The point fz is analytic at some point in every deleted neighborhood of a. So this is a very special term, deleted neighborhood of a. Just you may consider a function that is mod of x minus a which is greater than 0 but less than del. You know, in mathematics whenever we use this small del, that is means the quantity is very closer to 0, very smaller but not exactly 0. Then you know what is already the meaning this state, much mathematical meaning of this inequality, which is lying between greater than 0 but less than again a very smaller quantity del. Then of course this is the modulus, and you know the modulus very easily. The mod of x minus a means x minus a for every x greater than or equal to a, and this is negative when x is less than a. It means just you go one by one and discuss if this is positive greater than 0 and less than del for every x is greater than or equal to a, then what is the meaning? Meaning is this: x minus a is non-zero. It means this x cannot be equal to a, and if x is greater than a, so either the value is not equal to a, it means you can consider this x is greater than a. So in that case, if you go through and again you look this inequality that this x minus a may be greater than minus del but less than del. So this is called the deleted del neighborhood. This range is called the deleted del neighborhood. And again now here you have to concentrate a minus del. This x minus a is in between minus del and plus del. Then you can write here if this is in the line in between there is a point a, and it means if this point is not included. This is not included here. It means this is not included in entire plane, you can say entire point. It means only the difference between del neighborhood and this deleted neighborhood is that if this is not included in entire point, a is not included in entire point. In that sense, we use the term that is the deleted neighborhood of a. Now, for example, it will be clear here. This is already very famous and very easy example, that fz is equal to 1 by z has z is equal to 0 as singular point. Why? It may arise, although it is very easy, but why? If this question arises, then you have to go through here that fz is not analytic at z is equal to 0 but analytic at other points. एनालिटिक 0 पर तो नहीं है, लेकिन दूसरे उसके आसपास क्या है, एनालिटिक है. Okay, and if you look the second example, that is here, fz is equal to 1 over z, z minus 2 has z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 2 as a singular point. These are the two singular points. Why? Because fz is not analytic at z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 2. नहीं है, इसलिए क्या है, singular point. But there are neighborhood where fz is analytic. तो उनके that is not analytic at 0 and 2, but in the neighborhood the function is analytic. But here if you look the problem, just you go through and look the difference between all the examples. Because of that I have collected here. Fz is equal to z square has no singular point. This has no singular point. Why? Because it is analytic everywhere. If there are plenty of the function fz, but some function is has the singular point, but some function has no singular point, because this has no singular point as it is analytic everywhere. हर जगह एनालिटिक है. You can prove this also very quickly by writing fz is equal to z square, and you know what is fz. Fz is equal to u plus iota v, and here z you always say take the x plus iota y. So z square means x plus iota y whole square. Then you will get x square minus y square. Here 2xy. Then just after partial differentiation you will get ux is equal to 2x. Vx is equal to 2y, ui is minus 2y, and vy is equal to 2x. Then ux is equal to vy and ui is equal to minus vx. This is the CR equation are satisfied. It means you can say fz is analytic in the entire plane. So fz is analytic in entire plane. Now the next is in this series we have to discuss about the isolated singularities. So what do you mean by isolated singularities? Let us look. A singular point, as we discussed in the previous PPT, a singular point z is equal to a is called an isolated singularity if the fz, if for fz there exists a neighborhood of a in which there is no other singularity. Okay, so you have to remember this definition. So this is called the singular point. Example, for example, just to look. Okay, this example 1 over z, z minus 1. Here we can find a circular disc. Already we have discussed this the concentric circular disc like this. Okay, here this like this circular disc, annular region already we have discussed. With the center z is equal to 1 and radii r is less than 1, in which there is no other singularity, no other singularities. Okay, but then one related definition is always there, that is non-isolated singularity. So what do you mean by non-isolated singularity? Let us look. A singular point which is not isolated is called a non-isolated singularity. For example, this is a very beautiful example. You can look, fz is equal to 1 over sine of 1 by z. Look here, mind it. Sine of 1 by z has z is equal to just this z. Z is equal to 1 over n pi, where n is that is belong in z, any integer, as singular point, while 0 is a non-isolated singular point. The non-isolated singular point because the deleted neighborhood of 0 contains a singularity that is 1 by n pi for larger value of n, because n belongs in set of integers. So for larger value of n, that is this is again an infinite set. In that sense, we have written this deleted neighborhood of 0 contains a singularity 1 over n pi for a larger value of n. So this is the example of non-singular point, isolated and non-isolated point. Now, if a function has only finite number of singularities, just to look, if a function has only the finite number of singularity in a region, then they are isolated singularities. तो उसको क्या कहते हैं? Isolated singularities. Okay? So isolated singularities are further classified as there are two kind of isolated singularities. First, we call the first kind of isolated singularity we call, that is very famous, that is called poles. उसको क्या कहते हैं? Poles कहते हैं. And second type of this singularity is called the essential singularities. So one singularity in this case is called pole, another is essential singularity. Now we have to understand what is the meaning of poles and essential singularities. So these classifications are made on the basis of the principal part of Lorentz series. As I discussed earlier, all these classification of singularity, that is we always discuss around the Lorentz series are there, the two parts of the Lorentz series. Let us look what is the definition of pole. This is very important for the complex analysis. So just to go through the definition of pole, an isolated singular point A, an isolated singular point A of Fz is said to be a pole of order k if there exists k is greater than 0 such that Bk is non-zero and Bk plus 1 is equal to Bk plus 2 and so on is equal to 0 in the Lorentz series of Fz about A. Okay, so this is called pole. It will be clear in example. If let us suppose here, in other words, we can say if the Lorentz series is of the form Fz is equal to summation over an z minus a power n plus b1 over z minus a plus b2 over z minus a whole square. You look here, bk over z minus a power k. That is, you know in the Lorentz series, one part is called regular part, another is called the principal part. So we have already extended this part. And if R2 z minus a is laying between R2 and R1, where bk, this bk, just you look, is non-zero, then the A is called a pole of order k. Then we say in this case, this is called a pole of order k. If k is 1, let us suppose if k is 1, then A is called a simple pole. If k is 1, then A is called the simple pole, and if k is 2, then A is called a double pole. Okay, so this is always vary from here. We will look in the particular example. If this power is 1, then that is called simple pole. Which power? This power. If this power is 1, if k is 1, then simple pole. If k is 2, then that is called double pole or pole of order 2. So we can say, sometimes we say the pole of order 2, some time we say that is the double pole or simple pole. So this is the definition of pole. Now just to look, as here in this example it is very clear, Fz is equal to 1 over z minus 1 whole square has z is equal to 0 as a simple pole and z is equal to 1 as a simple pole and z is equal to 1 as a pole of order 2. Okay, so this is already given here. This is the 2, so this is the pole of the order 2. So now we have to discuss the second point, that is called the essential singularity. So an isolated singular point A is said to be an essential singularity of Fz if the principal, just to look here, if the principal part of Lorentz series of Fz about A contains infinitely many terms. This is important. Infinitely many terms. For example, let us look. This is a very good example. Fz is equal to e power 1 by z has z is equal to 0 as essential singularity. How? Just to go and elaborate this series, then e power 1 by z you can write 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 by factorial 2 z square and so on. And this series may be written as 1 plus z power minus 1 plus z power minus 2 by factorial 2 plus z power minus 3 by factorial 3 and so on. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is it has this series, this series has infinitely many terms. This is an infinite series in the principal part. It means we may say that z is equal to 0 is an essential singularity. So this is an essential singularity. So in this way you can define this term. Let us look the example. This is a second example that is very beautiful example in this case. That is Fz is equal to summation over z power n divided by 3 power n and plus summation over 1 by z power n, where z it is given, this region is given, that is z, so mod of z is less than 1, that is greater than 1 and less than 3. So if this is the Lorentz series, then you can observe that there are infinite number of negative power of z here, infinite number of negative power of z. So you can take this term yet z is equal to 0 is not a essential singularity of fz. But this has a lot of negative power of term. It means what is the reason? If z is equal to 0 is not an essential singularity in this case, although this has the many infinite number of negative power of z. Why? It is because of this reason. Just to look, the domain of convergence of fz, that is z mod of z is greater than 1 and less than 3, not a deleted neighborhood. This is not a deleted neighborhood of 0. It can be seen that it is if you go reverse and look the Lorentz series, so it is the Lorentz series of the function fz. इसी का क्या है? Lorentz series of the function of the type fz is equal to 2z divided by 1 minus z and z minus 3 in the annular region. We have already know annular region. Okay, so this region, this annular region. Okay, we are talking about this. The annular region mod of z is greater than 1 less than 3. So it is important to consider Lorentz series valid in the immediate neighborhood of a singular point. So immediate neighborhood of a singular point. Now after this, the last part of the classification of singularity is removable singularities. So let us look what is the removable singularities. So an isolated singular point z is equal to a of fz is called a removable singularities of fz if in some neighborhood of a the Lorentz series expansion of fz has no principal part. Okay, so there's if this expansion, if fz has no principal part, then you can say this singularity is removable singularities. How? Let us suppose this is an example, beautiful example in mathematics, that is fz is equal to sine z by z, where z is non-zero, z should not be 0. Then you can expand this series 1 by z, z minus this is expansion of sine z, z minus z cube by factorial 3 plus z power 5 by factorial 5 and so on. And after multiplication of 1 by z into this series, you will get 1 minus z square by factorial 3 plus z power 4 by factorial 5, and provided the mod of z should be less than 0, greater than 0 and less than infinite. So it has no principal part. It is you can look easily. It has no principal part. So z is equal to 0 here in this case. For this example, that is it is a removable singularities. So this is in this case z is equal to 0 is called removable singularities. So if sine z by z is not defined at z is equal to 0, let us suppose it is not defined here, z is equal to 0. For example, let us consider the definition of fz is like this: sine z by z, if z is non-zero and 1, it is defined here, if this function will be 1, the value will be 1 if z is 0. Then in this case, the series converges to 1. This value, this fz converges to 1 at z is equal to 0. It is already here, and so fz is analytic at z is equal to 0. So under this case, this function is analytic at z is equal to 0. The certain points here we have to remember very nicely, which will be dealt further course of study, which we will cover in the next lecture, that is the residue and residue theorem. So for that, what is the connection from here? So this is very important for that purpose. So you have to remember, a singularity z is equal to a is essential singularity if there is no integer n, such that limit of z tends to a, z minus a power n, fz is equal to a finite number a, and that should be non-zero. Okay, so this is the first point. Second point is little bit different, that is a singularity z is equal to a is a pole. This is this was essential singularity. We are talking about essential singularity. Here we are going to talk about pole. If this singularity z is equal to a is a pole of order k, if limit z tends to a, z minus a power k, fz is again a finite number a, and which is not 0. So this is the second point. And now third inference is a singularity Z is equal to A is a removable similarity if similarity of Fz if limit Z tends to A, Fz is equal to a finite number. This is equal to a finite number and say A. The finite number say A. So that should be a finite number. This condition is not necessary here. If this is only a finite number, say that number is A. So you can say this number as a A. So these are the three important cases you have to remember. Now after this, the last part is what do you mean by 0 of order k? So what is the meaning of 0 of order k? Let Fz be an analytic at Z is equal to Z0. If f of Z0 is 0, then Z0 is called 0 of Fz. Mind it, if f of Z0 is 0, then Z0 is called the 0 of Fz. This is called 0 of Fz. If there exists k, a positive k, such that f dash Z0 is equal to 0. Mathematically we can write, let us suppose f double dash Z0 is 0 and up to fk Z0 is non-zero, mind it, highest derivative, but the previous term may be 0, previous derivative may be 0, then we can say that Fz is said to have a 0 of order k, mind it. 0 of order k, kab? K at 0 when the last term, the higher term, that is non-zero, but all the previous term are 0. So this is of order k at Z0, then Fz is equal to, mathematically again you can express this expression like this, is Z minus Z0 power k, F1 Z0 is not 0, and it means if you can express the expression like this, if there is ratio, quotient, F1Z divided by F2Z, then F1Z and F2Z are analytic at Z is equal to A, and F dash A is non-zero, and if A is equal to 0 of order k for F2Z, then A is called a pole of order k for Fz. Again I am repeating here, if F1Z and F2Z are in the quotient, mean numerator and denominator, but we have to remember F1Z and F2Z are analytic at Z is equal to A, and F1A should be non-zero, and if F1A if A is 0 and if A is 0 of order k for F2Z, then we can say that A is a pole of order k for Fz. So this is the 0 of order, what is the 0 of order k, and in this way I think we have already completed this part, means classification of singularities, and in the next lecture I will try to discuss about the residue and residue theorem. You have not subscribed this channel, then please subscribe. Stay safe in your respective houses, and if you have any doubt or if you want any discussion, then we can discuss through my YouTube channel, and I will specify any particular day, but for that only that benefit only for those who have already subscribed my channel. So thank you very much. Thank you. Stay safe.